They note that the TRPS1 mutation has a high penetrance but a variable expressivity. Mutation analysis identified a single base deletion at position 2110 of the TRPS1 gene, leading to a frame shift and premature stop of translation. Basically, a chunk of the genetic code got scrambled because one letter was deleted or inserted, which threw off how the cell reads everything after that point. This cell hits a false stop sign way too early and thus produced a shortened or broken version of the TRPS1 protein that can't do its job. All three carried the exact same mutation, yet the severity of their loss had varied dramatically. So maybe there's another modifying gene or protein that could be modulating it, which is why one of the sisters has it worse, the mother doesn't have it that bad, and then the middle sister, she's somewhat okay. They note that the TRPS1 mutation has a high penetrance but a variable expressivity. So essentially that means if you have the mutation, it's going to show up somehow. But how bad it hits you varies wildly from person to person, even within the same family, as we've seen with the familial case from the case study. What stood out was that the hair shafts had markedly reduced diameters, many showing a continuous thinning of the distal part with tapered tips. And you usually see this with uncut hair that simply can't grow long enough to require actual cutting. Another very, very interesting part, and I want you guys to really pay attention to what I'm about to say, was that the dermopapilla appear to be hypoplastic, meaning it was shrunken relative to the well-developed hair follicle stem cell bulge region in the epithelium. So what's going on there? We have an underactive dermopapilla cell region, but we still have that hair follicle bulb or bulge that houses the epithelial hair follicle stem cells. That unit is still healthy. Well, Seitz and colleagues concluded that the impression of sparse hair in trichorhinophalangeal syndrome is mainly caused by marked thinning of individual hairs and not by a major reduction in follicle numbers. Once again, we can see that TRPS1 mutations can produce a range of hair pathology, from miniaturization to actual hair follicle atrophy. Though one can have a defect with the TRPS1 gene protein, but the specific mutation is what's going to determine what happens to their hair and also what happens to their body.